Well, Mintec can trace its origins back to the 1980s. The founder of the business worked in food procurement and commodity trading, and he came upon the idea that it would be fantastic to build a database of raw materials and commodities. So what he was focused on was the non-exchange traded markets, the huge range of commodities that go into food and agri supply chains, on which there's very little data. We've developed that proposition over the decades, and we're now today the largest single database and analytical system focused on the food agri chain. By far and away, the biggest user is someone in purchasing. She or he is going toe-to-toe with suppliers, negotiating contracts, and they need data to be able to understand where is the market trend. And what our tool does is give them visibility on the market trends. Also, on the flip side, if they're selling product, how can they justify the commodity prices they're presenting? More and more, we're finding companies outside the food supply chain, like banks and hedge funds, traders, using our data because we've assembled the largest database of information for lots of ingredients and foodstuffs that you really can't get your hands on. So if you want to understand markets, Mintec is where you can find it. So it's a really amazing go-to source. Yeah, so what you've got in CPN is really the crown jewels of Mintec. It's our access to the whole database, going back in some cases 30 years. It's the pricing history, so it tells you right up to the present day what is the price profile of any particular raw material. And if you think about most of the businesses we work with, they work with wafer-thin margins. 2 or 3% would be typical. So every saving they can make there through the visibility of good data goes straight to the bottom line. We're exploring new markets, and a big part of that is the development of more of our own proprietary data. So whilst we certainly collect data from reputable sources, a lot of our most used prices are actually Mintec's proprietary data. So that's really where we're going on the data side. But then the tool set around it keeps on growing, the cost modeling function, the weather maps and weather data. And I think the future that we're already starting to follow is the predictive analytics. So that's around forecasting of prices. So you'll see that coming through Mintec in due course.